Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to talk to you all about one of my favorite crystals is Bloodstone. This is one of the most powerful crystals ever. So this is a raw version of Bloodstone. This is my own personal Bloodstone that I've taken a picture and put it on my website, but not many people see Bloodstone in its raw form. People see Bloodstone in its natural form, but online is very misleading about what a lot of Bloodstone looks like, because Bloodstone has different inclusions in it. It could have white, it could have yellows, it could have just different colors in it. This Bloodstone is a good representation of Bloodstone. You'll see the Bloodstone online with spotted speckles, and I don't believe that accurately represents Bloodstone. From someone who's around a lot of Bloodstone and has Bloodstone all over my bedroom, that's just not how Bloodstone's represented. But anyway, let me get into Bloodstone. This is called Bloodstone for a reason. So Bloodstone's always controversial whenever I talk about it because of its history. It's basically the dark. Some people try to use this for darkness. You can't use it for darkness. It has kind of like a grim energy to it, but it has a healing energy to it. So basically this crystal has the energy of the blood of Jesus in it. The reason that it was said that it has speckled spots of basically blood spatter in it is that Jesus Christ on his cross, as he died, there was a green jasper underneath his cross. So when his blood fell to the ground, it stained the stones and actually became known as Bloodstone. It started becoming a stone from that point on. Now this stone is used by the Romans, it's used by the Egyptians, it's used by just so many different cultures. It has the energy of the blood of Jesus in it. It has the energy of overwhelming, crushing opposition to anyone who does you harm. Bloodstone does the most. It's fire and brimstone. Another word for Bloodstone is heliotrope. It basically, it's not really known by that name much anymore. There was a myth behind Bloodstone that I actually found to be true. So when Bloodstone protects you from something that will kill you, it starts changing colors. It's wild. So because there's Roman legends, there's Egyptian legends, there's just different stories and tales, which I don't tell stories and tales. I tell what I live and what I know. And I've had someone who got Bloodstone from me recently. P. Jackson, I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your tale and sharing your story. He got Bloodstone from me and it started changing colors. And when I looked at it, it started... I felt fire coursing through my body just by looking at it. I'm like, I know that Bloodstone has been doing a lot of work. It took me a very long time to get used to Bloodstone's energies. I could not even bear when I first started off with Bloodstone, I couldn't bear its energies. It was too much for me. And then I found Bloodstone's actually the only crystal that led me to find a technique to be able to release anything. So basically, if a crystal is giving you problems, if a crystal is being too much for you, it basically means that crystal is trying to get something very deep out that someone put on you, something that's from a past life, maybe even something someone put on you in a past life. But Bloodstone does the most possible to get rid of any darkness. It gets rid of black magic. It gets rid of demons that are around you. Since it has the energy of the blood of Jesus, demons are highly offended by this stone. Whenever I prescribe Bloodstone for someone who has a lot of either haints, dark entities, or actual demons around them, they don't like the energy. I'll feel something very quick and then it'll fade off. Kind of like resistance from whatever's around them getting the Bloodstone. There's other ways to deal with demons as well. Some of my mentors, I'm not going to teach that on here, but you can use sigils and different runes, and there are certain kind of magics, which I'm not going to name on YouTube, that my mentors have taught me to get rid of demons and send them back as worse as they came, just so the person learns to not send them anymore. But we're talking about Bloodstone. So Bloodstone's a good way to get rid of the lower level, the weaker demons. But to the higher level demons, it's still offensive. It's not going to fully stop them. The sigils, on the other hand, and the different runes, and I'm not gonna say what it is on camera, but there's different ways to get rid of demons, especially for when you have a lot of angels around you. Bloodstone. Back to Bloodstone. This is one of the most violent, wildfire, just crazy energies in a stone. So I'm gonna say this as a myth because I can't really say too much else, but it was said by the Romans and the Egyptians when they go to battle that when they would get cut and bleed, that by pressing Bloodstone against them stops the bleeding immediately. So I'm not gonna confirm that on YouTube either because I'm not gonna be anyone's liability. Or disclaimer: this is used for metaphysical purposes only, but the thing is, Bloodstone has the myth of stopping bleeding. That's the myth of it. That's as much as I can say about Bloodstone. I hope this is saying enough, but science, on the other hand, says that there's different studies on it. Like, science tried to come up with a meaning for it. Basically, when you hold Bloodstone to a wound, it's the coolness of the stone and the Fe3O2 and the mineral content in the Bloodstone. I know my minerals as well, but that's just the myth that Bloodstone stops bleeding. There's so much about Bloodstone. Now let's talk about the invisibility aspect, since Bloodstone's such an interesting stone. So Roman warriors would use this in the fields of battle to be sneaky. When you have an enemy, when you have someone who's directing negative energy towards you, it works like magic. Bloodstone just it slides past, it completely goes around the Bloodstone, and it's like, that person didn't see me, even if I was just like right in front of them, they didn't see me. I'm like, okay. But Bloodstone has the energy of spiritual invisibility to it. It can make you dim to your enemies. The way it works is just like magic. Everything about Bloodstone is pure magic. Some people have attempted to use it for dark purposes. It doesn't work like that. It blows up in their face and they don't even know it hit them. But Bloodstone is just, there's so much to this crystal. It resonates with the heart chakra. Talking about the heart chakra, it's very good for any kind of heart healing. It's a very good stone for vitality, for health, for your spiritual health, just for feeling good. It's the stone I recommend the most for someone who generally doesn't spiritually feel good. It's the crystal that will fix a lot of any chakra-related problems, especially of the heart. It's called Bloodstone for a reason. So Bloodstone is also a stone of luck. Yeah, this crystal does a lot. So basically, Bloodstone is a crystal of bringing in luck. Not many people know this, but you can get very lucky just by pushing away dark energies and attracting the light energies just by pushing the dark ones away. So Bloodstone, I'll give you a little key pointer here. Whenever you see when a crystal's green crystals usually equal luck. Bloodstone equals luck and just its ability to push away dark energies. So I have noticed a lot of luck whenever I take extra Bloodstone out with me. I notice extra luck. You can never have too much extra luck. So I just love Bloodstone. Make sure you don't wear Bloodstone as an anklet. Don't wear it below the heart chakra or it'll give you problems. Basically, don't wear it below here. You can put it in your pockets, but that's an exception. Just don't put it on the lower chakras because it'll cause ungrounding and imbalancing and it'll make things crazy. So if you want to deal with the energies of Bloodstone, if you want to receive the energies that it has, put it in your left hand. This is my left hand. I don't know because the camera is introverted, but put the Bloodstone in your hand and you'll feel the energies of Bloodstone. It gives you strength and courage and it helps you think clearly. It helps you act like a Roman warrior. It just gives you everything you need to be able to succeed. Bloodstone is just an overall, it's a jasper. I did not say that in this video. I didn't really say it's a jasper because most jaspers are nurturing. Bloodstone nurtures in a very harsh manner. It's just fire and brimstone. And then now to switch to the right hand, you project its energies. You spit out whatever's on the inside into your environment. When you have it as a necklace, it's actually doing both. Bloodstone, like I said from earlier, will change colors from red to green when it's absorbing something that's supposed to kill you. If your Bloodstone breaks, You start doing protections, cleansings, just up all your protections. It should not break. It's a really heavy duty crystal. It's very strong. If it breaks, it means that death is nearby, according to myth. So that I have to disclaimer everything I'm saying. Definitely, because it's a disclaimer, used for metaphysical purposes only. It was used by the Romans and the Egyptians for a reason. People who keep sending you negative energy when you have bloodstone on you, they'll feel like they hit a wall. Kind of like red jasper, but it's kind of like a battering ram because it has battering ram energies to it. It's said that the Egyptians put this on battering rams or even used it as battering rams just because of its energy of just crushing oppression. So when people send negative energy towards you or there's dark energy directed towards you, it'll feel like fire and brimstone for them. It'll feel like their whole world is coming down just because it's the battering ram. It's like open the door, like basically like open the door to your peace. That's how you can think of bloodstone. It just does, this one crystal does so much. It's a little, I'm not going to say it's not visually appealing, but it's not amethyst, it's not citrine, it's not like the most like flashy of colors, but it's one of the crystals that does the most. Jaspers are for spiritually adept people. It takes a truly spiritually developed and crystal intrigued person to dive into jaspers and get to know more about jaspers. Bloodstone is one of the most necessary crystals ever. It makes sure that you're doing well. Like bloodstone will make sure that you are doing well on all levels, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Disclaimer, used for medical and non-medical reasons, but bloodstone's a wonderful crystal. It's so powerful. I just love bloodstone. It does so much. Demons are flat out offended by it, especially since it has the blood of Jesus energy in it. I always associate this crystal with Jesus. I always put bloodstone by my statue of Jesus because it reminds me, their energies go in hand so much. I'm glad there's a crystal out there like that. One thing I haven't covered, there's two different kinds of bloodstone. There's the African bloodstone. I don't know too much about that. It still has the wildfire craziness energy to it. I don't know too much about the African bloodstone because I heavily favor the Indian bloodstone, but just from the people who I've made African bloodstone for, they say it's the same exact energy, they thought it was a little different, but they said it basically felt like Indian bloodstone. One's green, one's gray. I'll figure out the differences eventually. I'm going to meditate with African bloodstone more. I'm just too intrigued by Indian bloodstone to want to go to African bloodstone. But I'll figure the differences out and I'll make a different video on African bloodstone versus the Indian green bloodstone. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Bloodstone is one of the most crazy wildfire this stone it has fire energy to it. People would think, oh, it's an earth energy stone because it's green. Just seeing bloodstone after it's like a whole day of it being used, from my friend showing me the picture of his, I felt fire. I couldn't imagine what dark energy it was pushing away, or like what dark energy felt, or any kind of enemy felt, just by me looking at it. Because once you wear bloodstone, it's going to carry your energy. Especially it being a heart chakra stone. Heart chakra crystals remember you. And once they know something that's not your energy, it'll be like, okay, you're not my wearer, you're not my crystal owner. And it will cast fire at you basically. It has a heavy fire element to it. It feels just like fire agate in its fiery energies. I don't know. I'm going to find out more about bloodstone. Originally, just based on the tales that it was told to me from the past of basically history, is that I thought this was a lot darker stone than it is. It's kind of a grim stone because it has to do with the blood and just the energy of crucifixion and kind of like the sadness and going into the stone, and just how dark of a green it is. It's very specific in its shade of how dark of a green this crystal is. It has to be one of the most powerful crystals ever. I have to say that this stone is for the warriors. If you're not ready for this crystal, I would suggest you meditate with it. on your right side first before the left side, but if you feel like you are a spiritual warrior, Bloodstone's gonna be for you. This stone does not play. It has such different energy than every other crystal. It's just complete fire. It feels like the Roman warrior and how they fought in battle. Just by holding it, it's just pure coursing energy. It's unbelievable. It's Bloodstone. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Until then, I'm going to meditate with African Bloodstone so I have more perspective, but I love my Indian Bloodstone too much. This is just a beautiful Bloodstone. But I will see you guys next time. Ciao!